The Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick's shocking affair, drug problem spirals into romantic blow-up. Genoa City, WI. In the high-stakes world of corporate mergers and family dynasties, a new currency is emerging: creativity. But for Nick Newman, scion of the Newman Empire, his latest attempt to think outside the box is about to detonate his personal and professional life. According to exclusive sources and upcoming spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Nick is not just having an affair. He's embarking on a disruptive ideation journey that involves a dangerous muse and a recreational drug problem, setting the stage for the most explosive romantic blow-up Genoa City has seen. For years, Nick has been defined by binaries: Newman versus Abbott, CEO versus rogue, loyal husband versus passionate lover. But insiders say a deep-seated creativity crisis is at the root of his current turmoil. Stuck in the shadow of his father Victor's monolithic legacy and his brother Adam's chaotic genius, Nick has been searching for a way to redefine himself. Nick feels stagnant, reveals a show insider. He's run clubs, headed divisions, but it's all been within the family playbook. He's been quietly yearning to create something that is entirely, uniquely his. That unmet creative impulse is a powder keg. Enter the catalyst: Sasha Green, an enigmatic and controversial experiential design consultant hired to rebrand a dormant Newman property. With a background in avant-garde art installations and Silicon Valley think tanks, Sasha doesn't just suggest new logos. She employs methods like consciousness-expanding brainstorming and inhibitor-liberated vision quests. Her toolkit, sources allege, includes more than just mood boards. Sasha represents a world Nick finds thrillingly foreign. Our source continues. She talks about hacking reality and designing emotional experiences to Nick, mired in Genoa City's familiar battles. She looks like the avatar of true innovation. Their collaboration, however, quickly blurred professional and personal lines. Spoilers indicate their late-night ideation sessions became increasingly intense, using mild psychedelics and stimulants framed as cognitive lubricants to break down creative barriers. What began as a quest for a business breakthrough spiraled into a full-blown, clandestine affair, fueled by a shared sense of misunderstood genius and the substances that heighten it. This isn't just a lusty fling, analyzes Dr. Alistair Crow, a pop culture psychologist specializing in narrative archetypes. This is a classic case of the creativity seekers' alliance. Nick is using the affair and the accompanying drug use as a misguided form of innovation. He's conflating personal rebellion with creative output, and using Sasha as both muse and co-conspirator. The drugs aren't just for partying. In his mind, they're a tool to access a more authentic, visionary self. The fallout is poised to be catastrophic, with three primary fronts set to erupt. 1. The romantic blow-up. Sharon and Chelsea in the crossfire. Nick's enduring, complex bond with Sharon Newman and his committed relationship with Chelsea Lawson are both in immediate jeopardy. Spoilers tease that Chelsea, already sensitive to Nick's emotional withdrawals, will discover damning evidence, not of the affair alone, but of the drug use. For Chelsea, who has walked a long road of personal redemption, this will feel like a devastating betrayal and a dangerous relapse into chaos. Sharon, however, may perceive the deeper crisis. Sharon has seen every version of Nick, the insider notes. She might be the first to diagnose this as a self-destructive creativity fit, but that understanding won't temper her fury or her fear for him. Her confrontation will be less about jealousy and more about a desperate intervention. 2. The corporate implosion, a Newman family innovation nightmare. When Victor Newman gets wind that his son is not only involved with a faddish charlatan, but is also using drugs, he will see it as the ultimate failure of judgment, a vulnerability that could be exploited by rivals like Jack Abbott. Victor's philosophy is about controlling reality, not redesigning it with chemical aids. This will lead to a brutal power struggle, possibly with Adam positioned as the stable alternative, a twist ripe with irony. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott, always looking for a competitive edge, might see an opportunity to lure the disillusioned Sasha and her disruptive ideas over to Jabot, turning Nick's personal creative quest into a corporate nightmare. 3. The personal unraveling, when the vision fades. The most poignant tragedy may be Nick's inevitable crash. The spoilers hint that the drugs, initially framed as liberating, will begin to cloud his judgment, leading to reckless decisions that threaten his business, his relationships, and his health. The brilliant ideas conceived in this state will be revealed as impractical or stolen. Sasha's true motivations, whether she's a genuine visionary, a cunning opportunist, or an addict herself, will come into question, leaving Nick isolated, used, and facing the rubble of his life. The question the story raises is profound, says Dr. Crow. In a culture obsessed with innovation and authentic self-expression, what happens when that pursuit becomes destructive? Nick is trying to create a new identity, but he's using the wrong tools and a dangerously flawed collaborative process. This arc promises to be more than a simple cheating scandal. It's a parable for the modern age, exploring the dark side of the relentless pressure to be original, to break molds, and to reinvent oneself. It asks, when does a midlife crisis become a creativity crisis? And at what cost do we seek to manifest our most inspired selves? As Nick Newman's designed reality crumbles, the entire Genoa City ecosystem will feel the shockwaves. The coming weeks will reveal whether this spiral leads to total destruction, or if, from the ashes of this romantic and personal blow-up, a chastened Nick can finally learn that true creativity isn't found in a powder or a forbidden affair, but in the courageous, sober work of building something real. The Young and the Restless airs weekdays on CBS. This creative disruption begins Monday.